Good evening, folks. Back out here on the porch again. It is Memorial Day night. Um, Fireworks just quit across the street there, across the river, over in Green Cove. If you're familiar with the area at all, Green Cove Springs, they have a big, small town has a big fireworks display. Um, Sounds like a pretty good one this year. But anyway, tonight I'm out here with this Don Pepin Cuban Classic. Never had one of these. It's supposed to be pretty good, but we'll see. Um, Picked it up at a liquor store down the street yesterday, so it really hadn't rested. Hopefully, usually I like to let them sit in the humidor a little bit, but I tried to look for my CAO American. Must have smoked it already because it's gone. I couldn't find it, so I was gonna smoke it today. But this is what I got. It's pretty good. Um, we'll see. It smells good. Hope you all had a good Memorial Day. Spent some time with your family. My wife had to work, but I spent the day here, had a good time. Took care of some stuff. It's a good day. My Zippo. This is a Zippo lighter. I took the inside out and I bought one of these flames. To me, I tried it with the soft flame, but just too much work. So, but I like the thin blue line holder for it. And here's my cutter. I don't think I've ever showed you this. This is a Calibri B cut. Picked that up at a cigar shop and a couple of years ago, and there we go. Never tried one. Heard about them. I always used to use the guillotine. Talked to the lady about it. She's running the shop. She had them sitting up there on the counter, and of course, police blue. Had to get it. Um, Love it. It's all I use. I have the guillotines I let keep laying around for guests sometimes, or in case somebody walks off with one. But that's pretty much all I use these days. So this is a Don Pepin, and I may be saying that wrong. If I am, let me know. But that's my redneck Spanish Cuban Classic. It's got a Habano wrapper. The binder and filler are Nicaraguan. What I'm getting so far, like an almond, and that's now I get it. I kind of smelled on the outside before I smoked this. I could smell that. I couldn't figure out what it was, but now I taste it. And on the finish, like in the back, it like a cocoa and black pepper. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. I'm enjoying it. It's supposed to be a good cigar. I was reading up on them, and they're known for their construction and burn. So we'll see. And I'm smoking it tonight with this Maker's Mark Cask Strength, the Brave. So limited release. It's 110.5 proof. Wife and I were at the liquor store on Saturday, and I had something else in my hand. They didn't have anything I really wanted, and as I was walking, they have a little bar section, and they had two of these on the bar, and I want to say it was like $40, something like that. The airplane going by or helicopter. We live right near the river, and there's a Navy base just to our north. So we do get a lot of that. They go up and down the river training all the time. But this Maker's Mark is pretty good. Had a little bit last night. It's like I said, it's a limited edition, so I don't know how long it's going to be available. Um, kind of vanilla on the nose, caramel and oak, and on the palate, same, almost like a salted caramel and oak, baking spice. Typical Maker's Mark, though. You could tell it's a Maker's Mark. You know, they're all weeded, so they got that taste to them. But almost at the end, a little bit of dark chocolate. But so far, it's pretty good. Probably won't ever see another one, so I won't be able to get another one. But today, it's Memorial Day, so it's a day for the veterans. I am not a veteran. I think I've told y'all before I was not in the military. I went straight into police work. But, you know, today everybody, a lot of people do it, use it for they had a big luau here at the clubhouse up there. And it's a big party day. But it's really so we can remember those who gave their lives for this country. And unless you have a relative or know somebody, and there's a lot of people. You probably know somebody peripherally, but thank God, these wars we have are always fought overseas. So even the Gulf Wars, you really don't affect us here. We're very fortunate in that so far, protected by two big oceans and two big countries, and just makes it difficult. But I don't think people realize how good we got it here. And these guys go overseas to fight these wars for us, and give up their families and everything. And I don't think veterans do get a lot of credit. There's a lot of veteran services and things like that. But let's be honest. I'll give you an example. What made me thought of this tonight was I was watching a show on like Discovery Plus or something. And this one, I forget, it's a series about Hollywood or something different crazy stuff that goes on there. This one was talked about basically all these doctors who prescribe these prescription pills to these famous people, And I think they did story on, I think, Prince and what's that, Matthew Perry, the guy from Friends, Heath Ledger, a couple other people, and talked about basically the doctors that prescribe the pills and how that works. And I think Matthew Perry was actually he got some of his stuff from a doctor. Let me fix this, but some of it he got from some lady called what they call her, the ketamine queen or something. I don't know, some crazy name, and I don't know where she was getting it from. But so they talked about these people when they died, and it was a big tragedy, which it is. No matter they were putting all the blame on the doctors, but let's be honest, if you're addicted to something, you own some of that blame too, I suppose, for whatever reason. But they showed how there was this great outpouring of support, and like when Prince died, right, in Minnesota, all over the country, they had these big memorials to him, and people, crying on the side of the road and all this kind of stuff. Same thing with Matthew Perry and these other people. And I'm thinking, I remember, when they died, but I'm like, oh, that's a shame. But I didn't know them. I don't really, didn't really care. I'll be honest with you. I shouldn't say that. Not that I didn't care. I just, it didn't really affect me. And part of me said, well, these people, and of course, when they did the background, they all had addictions to things for different reasons, but ultimately you're responsible for that. And of all people, those folks have the money to go to rehab to get themselves off of it. So there's really no excuse for it other than it's convenient for them, I guess. I don't know. But this big outpouring of support for these folks was, there was people crying. People putting, big bouquets of flowers and teddy bears and all kind of, it's just the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I'm thinking, some of these stories you hear about these soldiers, they come home and other than their family, nobody did that for them. Nobody cared about them. Some of the reasons we've been to some of these wars is a little suspect now if you follow the news. Weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, there were none. There's some controversy around that, I'm sure. I got my feelings on it. But when these people were killed over there, nobody went and lined the streets with teddy bears and bouquets of flowers and things like that. But those are the real heroes. Those are the people we need to worry about, not these overpaid celebrities that really hate us. Let's be honest. Prince came to Jacksonville one time, and you may love Prince, and that's fine. Whatever. I'm just telling you, he came here, and there was some off-duty police officers working security for him, and then the show they were going to have that evening. So they were getting paid to be there. It was their job to provide security. And he's up there on stage practicing, I guess, before the show. And some guy from his entourage comes over and tells the police officers, y'all got to leave. He doesn't want y'all in here. Simply because they were police officers, not because he thought they were going to record him or anything like that. He just doesn't like the police, which is fine. You don't have to. But you dislike them enough that you're going to stop your little practice session to kick them out of the place when they're there to protect you. Needless to say, they didn't leave. They said, well, he can be mad and go away, or doesn't matter. We're not leaving. And so he just had to make do. But that told me a lot about him. That you thought that much of it. You felt like you needed to kick them guys out of there for whatever reason. And then you got people just in complete breaking down. They showed people over Matthew Perry on their social media. I don't know if they had TikTok then or what it was. It was like these little people close up in their face, how they do. And they're crying and, wiping away. Well, the one guy, he was crying, bawling like a baby, but I didn't see any tears. So I think it was probably an act. But I say all that to say is we do this for people who are basically clowns. They get up there and entertain us in different ways. They tell jokes, they sing, but they really don't contribute anything to society at all. It's entertaining and it's fun, but what we pay these folks and what the money they make and the fame and the things that they get and the adoration and the outpouring when they pass away is kind of disturbing to me. I don't get it, because really what have they done? It's sad, but you got these guys going overseas and giving their lives, leaving their families, their children, their mothers, their fathers, their loved ones, for this country and for you and me. They've given their lives for us, and yet nobody's doing what they do for these movie stars and these entertainers. And like I said, to me, they're just a bunch of clowns. I mean, it's sad. I don't wish harm on them, whatever. And I'm entertained by them. There's people I like, but I don't know that I'm going to be that upset if they pass. I mean, it's a shame, but I don't. I just don't get it. I really don't. So a day like today, while you're hopefully while you were entertaining your family at the barbecue grill, you thought about those people, the reason for the day, the reason for the holiday, the reason that we have today is Memorial Day, to remember those folks. And I don't think any of them want you to go out and line a building with teddy bears or something like that. But just think about them and think about their families and what they gave up for this country. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. So far, this cigar is pretty good. I'm going to put it on my list. I'm going to check out some of the other. Um, they have several of these. Like I said, I've never had these, but as I looked online earlier, they had a bunch of different variations of wrappers and Connecticut's and Maduros, and like they always do. So I'm gonna dig into some of those for sure. Put in a big order. They had a Memorial Day sale on Cigars Daily, the website. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be sharing those with you guys as well. A couple of things I haven't had before, so I'm looking forward to it. But that's it for this evening. I hope you guys had a good day today. Um, Time to go back to work tomorrow. Not happy about that, but here we are. Um, you guys stay safe and have a good evening.